Welcome back, everybody, to the Invest GP Committee. On this committee is myself, Councillors O'Connor, Councillor Blackmore, and Mayor Clayton. So we'll call this meeting to order, and we'll go into our service area update with our Chief Harrop, please.
Thank you, Councillor Plott. From an economic development standpoint, new businesses, we had 15 new businesses receive a welcome package in the past week. 11 of those were commercial, so continued sustained momentum there, which is great to see. Rural renewal continues to be very successful for us. We now have 226 candidates endorsed, 331 employer applications in progress, approved and complete, and 495 positions advertised and available under this program. With the support of our municipal IT group, we're also progressing by way of some much needed IT improvements to help the process flows and effectively improve and increase our throughput in this program. So continued momentum there. As we've discussed before, the intent is to, in that June and July period, once these IT improvements are in place, we'll then be able to be more proactively getting out to improve even the more demand that we have for this program, which we know is out there. Right now, it is very much a manual process, so some good momentum there, and we'll continue to update on that progress. From a grants and incentives perspective, we're currently undergoing a very robust deep dive of the existing grants, as well as the growth potential of some additional grants that could spur on more of our activity locally. We just had a conversation a moment ago regarding the much needed advocacy by way of federal and provincial funding to help on the residential standpoint. Can't agree with Councillor Plott more on that front, but there hopefully are some ways that we can add a little bit of gusto behind that by way of some other incentives. You'll see more of that coming up the next few weeks. Our goal is by the June committee meeting, we're going to have a full reco in place, and we'll hear more about progress on that front tomorrow in our strategic planning working group. From an events perspective, we attended the Grande Prairie Regional Tourist Association's strategy session a couple of weeks back. So a lot of great momentum there on our local tourism strategy. Next steps for us on that front are to dovetail our efforts and our strategies in with that. So more to come on that front as well. From an investment attraction standpoint, we attended the Edmonton Real Estate Forum last week to connect with developers and realtors to learn more about local opportunities in the sector here in Grande Prairie. And like Grande Prairie in Edmonton, there has been a slowing down of activity on that front, but there was a noticeable sense of optimism in that industry in that meeting throughout. So a great sign on what the medium and long term future will look like in the sector. But again, we need to address and make sure we have the tools in place locally by way of grants, incentives, and other programs to help make sure we're maximizing that opportunity. And lastly, from an events and entertainment standpoint, we have the Monster, the world's largest inflatable obstacle course, has been announced at the Bonnet Centre for June 28th to July 1st. So I know Councillor Plott's already got booked his tickets for that, so we look forward to seeing his athleticism there. And we also have Dr. Sendinder Sarjal will be playing on the bows on Friday, May 12th. We have Blippi, the Wonderful World Tour, will be at the Bonnet Energy on Monday, May 15th. And that would conclude the update from an Invest GP standpoint.
Okay, thanks for that, Mr. Harrop. Sounds like some fun times ahead. Any questions? Councillor Blackmore.
Yes, Chief Harrop. A month or so ago, we had representation from Rotary Club here to talk about the rural renewal stream. Advertised jobs that had been filled but were still on the advertised board. I'm wondering, knowing how your staff time is really restricted, if IT has been able to come up with any kind of solution so that those businesses can receive an automatic email every so often that says, has your position been filled? Or if we've had any way of addressing that, because I know from talking to people who've been looking at the board, after they've hit a few organizations that say, no, the position is full, they tend to not go back to the board, and that's unfortunate.
Yeah, I echo the concern there. So there's not an automated process in place yet. That is high on the IT's priority list. In fact, it's the #1 priority right now. We do have a dedicated contract resource on that to help from a bandwidth perspective. So the team is actually working to manually put a Band-Aid solution in place with a more automated one coming. So share your concern there, and they are all over it.
Thanks, Councillor Blackmore. Mayor Clayton.
Thanks, Chair Plot. Just a quick question. You mentioned that, the numbers in the 200 approximately approved, et cetera. How many have landed in Grande Prairie now?
I'd have to check. It was over 30 as of about 4 or 5 weeks ago, but I'd need to come back to you with that exact number.
Thank you. Any addition is great. It'd just be nice to know.
Yep, I'll make sure that's included on the reports coming through in the future.
Okay, thanks for that. I see no further questions for in that. So we'll continue through our agenda and we'll work our way down to our outstanding items list, and we'll go back to Chief Harrop for that, please.
Yep, the 2 items on our outstanding items list are well underway. As I mentioned, one of those being the automation of the Invest GP's rural renewal program. So both those are underway, and we'll continue to update.
Okay, great. Councillor O'Connor.
Yes, I move that committee receive the May 9th, 2023 outstanding items list as presented for information.
Thanks for that, Councillor O'Connor. Seeing no hands up, please we'll vote on that. And that carries. So thanks, Mr. Harrop, for your updates. And with that, we'll adjourn this meeting.